Good morning, everybody. I'm going to jump in here early, because I printed on two sides of the page again, and I don't know why it's doing that. It's making me crazy. I know it's a little thing, but if I wanted to save paper, I would have set it up that way. Trees are a renewable resource, folks. Trees are a renewable resource. They grow, and you cut them down, and you make paper. Now, I'm all for recycling paper as much as possible, but if I'd wanted questions on two sides of the paper, I would have done it myself. But I don't, because I don't know where it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to have to number these pages. I've got my pen, so this is number 1. It's confusing. 2, 3, 4. And the pen's not working, and now that's making me mad. I got a pen in my jar. It's going in the trash can right now. Okay. So, I've got questions. I got 4 pages of questions, but it's only on 2 sheets of paper. Not happy. I've got bone broth cooking. My house smells wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Bone broth is cooking. My nose is itching. It's a good day in the neighborhood. You know, when the worst possible thing in the news is Justin Trudeau, that's funny. That's really funny. Now, let's see. We got questions. Do you want some answers to these questions? I am freezing this morning. I almost built a fire this morning. I'm so cold. And I may burn some paper trash in just a minute. But I've got some announcements to tell you. This is our best kept secret, a rubber scrubber. Best kept secret in the whole wide world. It's on a BOGO right now. And you know why it's on a BOGO? Because these things make great stocking stuffers. Everybody needs one in each room in your house. So these are on a BOGO. And I've just sent out a testimonial. It's really not a testimonial. It's a compilation of 101 testimonials about the rubber scrubber and its number of uses. 101 uses of a rubber scrubber. It actually has a place on the back to label it. So if this goes in your kitchen, that's fine. If it goes in your bedroom, I keep one in my bathtub. It scrubs my jets. I love these little bristles right here. And I want to tell you how to clean cat hair and dog hair off your furniture. Now, this is the tool to do it with. It gives you an upper body workout. The secret to it is to go at an angle like this to the fabric. At an angle. And it just rolls it right up. Just rolls it right up. And you sweep it on the floor. And then you can sweep it up with this thing. So this is a great tool. It will take care of everything from silk on corn, trying to de-silk a corn on a cob, to taking dog hair and cat hair off the furniture. I also like to keep one by my bed because I have a little dog who likes to get in the bed with us. And sometimes she's not as clean as she needs to be. Guess what? The rubber scrubber will sweep my sheets to get the little bitty. I'm a princess, y'all. I actually have a crown to prove it. I am a princess. And when I have little grains of sand in the bed, I can't sleep. Can't sleep at all. So, having the rubber scrubber by my bed actually does an amazing thing for me. It even if the sheets are brand new, and the dog gets in the bed, I mean, just put on the bed on Sunday. Yep, it makes a great veg. It scrubs elbows. It detangles hair. It does everything. There's my son. So get your rub scrubbers today. Now, where did I put my questions? Oh, and get your calendars too. These make great Christmas presents, especially this little one. Leanne's using it for her health, recording her health stuff. So we had an amazing meal at Leanne's house last night. An absolutely wonderful meal. We had tacos. And Leanne and I had lettuce wrap burritos. And they were absolutely to die for. Lettuce wrap burritos. And then we got to thinking about, we're just brainstorming what we can cook that's low carb. What we can cook. So we're gonna do a meal next Wednesday that is going to be yes, one of them comes in the FCC pack, only one, but we have a BOGO going on them right now where you buy one get one. You put one in your cart and we'll send you another one for free. You just have to put one in your cart. So I got questions. You got questions. I've got them right here in my hot little hand. And I have the answers to go with these questions. Okay, here we go. You ready? How do you do routines without ever going off track day in? How do you do routines without ever going off track day in and day out? Well, you don't. That's your perfectionism, expecting you to be perfect. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to get up and get moving. Make your bed as soon as your feet hit the floor. Go to your bathroom, get dressed to lace up shoes because you picked your clothes out the night before, because that's part of our habit this month, is doing our before bed routine. Don't allow your perfectionism to mess with your head. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Because every day is a new day, is a fresh time to start over. Not really start over, just jump in where we are. Your perfectionism has kept you from succeeding for a very long time. We don't have any rain here. It's Houston that's getting all the rain, not us. So pray for everybody in Houston, folks. Okay, next question. Sometimes I go off track on purpose because I can. I set my timer for 15 minutes. Sometimes I have a 15-minute day. I get up and I get dressed to these lace-up shoes. And I keep them on all day long. And I'll set my timer for 15 minutes and I'll work at my computer for 15 minutes. And then I'll get up and I'll do something. Sometimes I make a nice little 6-point list. And I get up at 15 minutes after the hour and I go do one thing on that list. I run down the basement stairs, getting my flights in. So you see, you can't allow your perfectionism to stop you from starting. But then when you get started, you can't allow your perfectionism to stop you from stopping. Because we have got to pace ourselves all the time. And the timer is the most amazing tool in the whole wide world. Okay, this is a good one. Leanne and I were talking about this last night. How can I get away from the addiction of scrolling social media, Instagram, watching YouTube videos in order to get to bed at a decent hour? Okay. Leanne and I last night, sitting at her bar, we started talking about, and she made this little timeline, this wonderful little timeline that this is dealing with food, but it can deal with any addictive process. So let's just say your addiction is being on social media. There's my sister. Being on social media and dragging out going to bed. Just one more thing. I just want to see one more video. I just want to, So, what kind of pleasure do you get from that one addictive thing you're doing? What kind of pleasure do you get from that? Just one little, what kind of pleasure is it? Leanne and I were looking at French fries and different things. It's going to be a momentary pleasure. But what's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is just to keep you distracted so you won't go to bed at a decent hour. It's evil. It is evil that's taking over your life because you can't say no. You can't say no to the school parent that calls that says, I need 3 dozen cupcakes by 3 o'clock this afternoon. You can't say no to them. You can't say no to the devil who's saying, come on, sucking you in 1 more minute, just 2 more minutes, just a 5-minute video. That's all it is. You're not able to say no because you haven't learned how to say no. You've got to realize what is happening to you when you don't say no to that addictive process. The joy you feel from it is finite. It's not an everlasting joy that you get from telling it no and from getting your butt up out of the chair and going to bed or putting your phone down. Now, I have a rule. I do not take my phone to the bedroom unless I'm traveling and I have an alarm set. I don't take my phone in the bedroom. We don't have a TV in our bedroom, and I just don't look at my phone. I just don't do it. Before bedtime, I'm usually working. I work pretty much close to 16, 17 hours a day. Yesterday, I got 10 hours of sleep. How I did that, I don't know. I slept really well. I really slept well. So stop yourself before you ever get started. Have a rule that you don't look at YouTube videos in the evening. Have a rule that you don't look at social media and don't put the passwords on your phone. So you can't look at it on your phone. You have to be on your laptop and you have to be sitting up. So, you can say no. You really can. You can stop yourself from going down this path. And what happens after you don't go to bed? And you can do this with everything that is an addictive thing. Everything, whether it's French fries or watching YouTube videos. You can do this by making this little flow chart that Leanne made. Last night, we actually made, you remember when we were in middle school or elementary school and we made the cootie catchers? I can't make one right here because I don't have a square sheet of paper and I need a flat surface to make it. But we made these cootie catchers that would go like this. How cool is this thing? And you click 1, 2, 3, 4, or it's different colors. But just say you put YouTube videos on one corner and you put social media on another, and just, your little addictive qualities. You open it up and you see what rewards you get from that. You don't get any rewards. All you get is things that you feel guilty about. Now, if you want it as a reward, set your timer. Here's another timer. Use your timer to stop you from going click, 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 one more thing. No, you can do this, but you have to be aware of your mindless. Now, Leanne and I have been talking about mindless and mindful. We want to be mindful of what we're doing. If you just want a little relaxation time to watch some I like to watch cooking videos on YouTube, those tasty videos, or I like to watch street cooking in Japan and I see different food being made. I love to do that. But I do it at a time that is not going to take away from my sleep time, because that's the most important thing to me. Because sleep keeps bags from under my eyes. Sleep keeps me from being irritable. Sleep keeps me happy. It keeps my cells renewing themselves. Sleep is a wonderful way to rejuvenate. Getting enough sleep. It doesn't play havoc with your metabolism. You know, one of the torturous things that are done to prisoners is they deprive them of sleep. Think about that. When you stay up too late, you're depriving yourself of sleep. You are torturing yourself. For what? This much feel-good feeling watching a video, a stupid video that is pulling sleep from you. So, learn to say no. Set your timer. Use it as a reward, but don't do it right before bed. That's wrong. Don't do that. Okay. Whew, that was a good one. How did you keep yourself encouraged through your journey of change? I've made so much progress, but often feel the old voices telling me it's not enough. When you hear those old voices, you have to turn those voices around to something positive. You're doing half the battle here. When you hear those voices, you can say, delete. I don't need you in my life. Get behind me, Satan. That's all it is. That's all it is Satan trying to discourage you day in and day out any way he possibly can. Do you hear me? Don't do that. Don't allow yourself to be sucked in once again by a negative voice that's telling you you're not good enough. Well, guess what? You are good enough. You are, because you're making progress. And it's progress, not perfection. You hear it? Progress, not perfection. You're good enough. You're getting things done. You got to learn to celebrate what you're doing. Last night, Leanne was telling me that Mark had a piece of chocolate and she didn't even want it. And I said, we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate that, because she had no desire for chocolate. This is a big deal for Leanne. She wrote about it in Body Clutter, how chocolate reminded her of her father. Macaroni and cheese was a comfort food for me. Me being able to make a whole pan of macaroni and cheese last year, I should have given it to somebody. But I ended up throwing it out. But I wanted to make it for you, to show you how to make it to feed your family on a budget. We can do this. We can celebrate every little piece of progress. We don't have to beat ourselves up because we are not good enough. We are good enough. We are. We are princesses of the King. We are good enough. And the main thing about keeping myself encouraged, I recognize those negative voices. Sometimes I would write them out on a piece of paper, put them in the fireplace, and set fire to them. It's the physical action of burning up those words and letting go of them. Letting go. Because they are holding you hostage. When you recognize that that's what they're doing and they're torturing you, let it go. Yesterday, let's see. Yesterday, Fly Lady said, I try to stay under 10 carbs a day. Is that total carbs or after subtracting the fiber called net carbs? It's net carbs. It's net carbs. You know, we were talking about quinoa. Leanne was talking about quinoa. And somebody kept suggesting quinoa in her chat, that was a good carb. And I said, no, it's not. It's not a good carb. When you could eat 2 cups of it, and 1/2 a cup is 45 grams of carbs. So at one sitting, you could have a bowl of quinoa and it be 200 carbs. No, it's not good. You got to pick and choose your carbs. I choose to eat green, leafy vegetables. And Leanne, I just thought of something. At P.F. Chang's, when they give you the lettuce wraps, they use endive or some kind of lettuce that's in a little stalk, and they're already in the shape of taco shells. So we'll have to remember that next time we do tacos. Taco Wednesday at our house. But I try to stay under 10. Now, sometimes that doesn't happen, but I'm initially under 30. 30 grams will work to help you lose weight. Cutting back on carbs is an amazing, amazing way to stop your body from pumping out the insulin day in and day out. If you start your day with a bowl of oatmeal, you're going to be trying to get rid of those carbs all day long. And we don't just eat a bowl of oatmeal. We fill it full of sugar. We fill it full of butter, which butter's not a bad thing. And we put cream on top of it, cinnamon, sugar. You do things to oatmeal. As Robert calls oats and grits, a bowl of hot that you put stuff in. It's like making pudding, like your coffee. So you've got to stay on top of what you're putting in your body, how you're fueling your body. Because if you put carbs in your body's going to put insulin out to fight the sugar. Because carbs turn into sugar in your body. And starches, they all turn into sugar. And your body has to put insulin out to fight it. That is, if you have a insulin that works in your body. If you don't, then you're diabetic, type 1 diabetic, and your body's just overflowing with sugar. And you're going to hurt your kidneys. You're going to hurt all parts of your body. You're going to create inflammation. You just got to get rid of the carbs. Okay, next question. I have to go on the back side of the paper now. I am struggling to keep up with the routines. Is it still okay to be limiting yourself to one area for 30 days? I know to build them on, but I am inconsistent and away from the home, 12 to 16 hours a day. Well, main thing you got to focus on right now is your before bed routine. If you're getting up and getting out of the house, then when you get up in the morning, you can do one thing. I have this chart. You can go to our website, and you can do weekly home blessing. One item each day. One item each day. Put this on your bathroom door as you go out your door and see it. You've got to focus on a morning routine and your before bed routine. This is how you're going to, being away from home 12 to 16 hours a day, I mean, you're not getting a lot of sleep. Your whole day revolves around getting up to go to work and going to bed when you get home. So simple little routines, 3-step routines. Wash your face, put on your lotion, brush your teeth, pick out your clothes for tomorrow, set up your launch pad, and get back in the bed and do it all over again. You're just trying to survive. You may have to piggyback 5 minutes of decluttering, grab a bag just as you're getting ready to go out the door and drop it off at Goodwill on your way to work. Main thing is consistency. Do a little every day. Every day. We practice a habit every month. It's just practice and habit. We're not doing the 31 baby steps and practicing one thing of that every day. No. We're putting together little routines, little habits strung into routines that will change your life. I have an issue with every drawer being so full that I have no place to keep things, and they end up on the top of the desktop. It is overwhelming to start because everyone uses them. How can I make cleaning out personal items of the drawer fun for the family to do together? Well, you can't. They don't care. Why are you pushing it off on somebody else when you just need to do it? You need to get the junk out of the drawers. That's all there is. It's too much stuff in there. If you're talking about your desk, just your desk where you work or everybody works, or only one person at a desk at a time, unless you have a double-sided desk like my sister does, or I do at the office. Open up a drawer and pluck out the things that don't belong in that drawer. Just precisely pluck it, pick it up and pop it in the box. And then you take that box and put those things where they belong. If somebody says, what happened to such and such in the drawer? Say, I put it in your room because that's where it belongs. Get the clutter out of the drawer so you can put things away. Another way to do it, if you've got a desk, you've got left, center, and right. And then you've got these desk drawers. Get a banker's box. You can get them at the office supply place, a box of them for, they're cheap, or you can order them from Amazon and get some banker's boxes and label it left, right, center, and then take everything off your desk and then only put back what you need, and then get another one that's for drawers over here and drawers on the right and your center drawer, and then take things out, put things back what you need, and then you're left with this stuff that doesn't belong in your desk. And it's clutter. And it needs to go away or go to the home where it belongs. So, and then if somebody starts looking for it, say, it's in a box right here, somewhere in this box. Yep. And people have kitchens that are the same way. Every drawer is a junk drawer in their kitchen. Stop it. Stop it. Because you can pluck the things out of that drawer that don't belong. I have one drawer that is a tool drawer. It is a miscellaneous drawer. But, it's got a little bit of everything. But it's all sitting flat in this drawer. I have some little boxes and little things in there to hold things, like cardboard from a Velveeta. Oh, this is old. From a Velveeta 2-pound thing of Velveeta. Makes great little dividers. And I have batteries in one. So I keep things at bay. Sometimes when we're in the kitchen, I open up a drawer, I go in there and pluck things that don't belong and put them someplace else. Stressful times are ahead. Can you lead us through a meditation again? Your Let's Talk About 2 Minutes video was so great, and the meditation part where you showed us was amazing. I don't remember that video, but meditation is a private thing. Now, some people like guided meditations. My nephew loves guided meditation. But You're really meditating when you can drop your own self into the meditation without a prompt from somebody else. Listening to somebody else's voice annoys me because I want to hear my voice. I want my voice to come in loud and clear. And I might do that sometime. I might guide you through a meditation. The main thing you have to know is set the stage. It's just like setting the stage for prayer. Set the stage so that you can fall right into meditation. This is my meditation chair. Sometimes I don't sit in this chair to do it all the time because I'm usually sitting in the living room. But you sit with your palms up and you close your eyes. And you don't have any noise around you. I can't have any noise around me. And you pretend like the back of your forehead, you're looking at it with your mind's eye. The back of your forehead is a TV screen. And that TV screen has a chyron going across the bottom, a little ticker tape going across the bottom, like on the business channel that I watch, keep up on TV all the time. I'm not listening to it, but I can look up and see what the market's doing and what the headlines are and breaking news, and whatever pops up on your forehead, and that chyron is scrolling to side, and the more outside thoughts you have coming into your head, the faster it goes. And our goal is to slow it down because you're never going to get rid of it. But if a thought keeps coming back up and coming back up and coming back up, then it may be something you need to deal with. But the main thing I like to do is focus on my breathing. I breathe in, I love, and I breathe out myself. And I just focus on saying those words. I love myself. I love myself. And you just breathe in. If you have an Apple Watch, there is an app that you can put on the watch that is a breathing app that ever so often, however long you set it up, it goes through the breathing process with you. You breathe in, and it's just focusing on your breath. I started meditation in 1990 as a way to de-stress my life. I can drop my blood pressure by half. I mean, there's Rebecca, I can really drop my blood pressure. And just by focusing on breathing. And doing this for 20 minutes a day can really turn your life around, because I never dreamed I would get closer to God meditating, but it worked for me. It's prayer and meditation. Okay. That is that. I got rid of a whole page. Okay, next question. What was the final outcome from Ben's hearing? The lady that heard us speak on his behalf, and he spoke on his own behalf, she recommended to the parole board, she was an intake person, she recommended to the parole board that he be paroled. But that doesn't mean that he will get paroled. We're waiting on 3 votes from the parole board. I don't know how many people are on the parole board, but all he needs is 3 votes. And since he was not a violent offender, a violent offender would need 4 votes. So he only needs 3 votes to get through to be released. And at that point, we're all happy because he gets to start a new life, and a new life where he will not be, he's been sober for 59 months. And, when you're sober for the first time, it's clean and sober, it really, and you can have opportunities not to use because prison has those opportunities. He has stood his ground. He has learned a new way to live, and it's a way of helping others, blessing others with what he's learned as an addict. And he'll tell his story. I'm not going to steal his thunder because I'll have him on here once we get to once he gets out. So, and because he wants to thank all of you for your prayers and your support and your letters and cards. So, what's the difference between your two apps? I only have one app. I have the Messenger app. That gives you the emails that we send out. You have reminders with notifications that remind you to reboot your laundry, drink your water, have you had lunch? Just reminders to keep you taking care of you. Now, my nephew, not Benjamin, Alexander, my nephew Alexander has an app. And that app is called Fly Lady Plus. It is free. And it gives you the morning musing, the Ask Fly Lady question, one other thing. And you can set up some routines in it. And if you have an iPhone, at 1 o'clock today, we will get an update on our iPhones for the iOS 13. My app only works on iPhones. So if you do the update, certain apps might not work until you update them. Which book of yours would you gift to someone to start their journey? Okay. It's according to their age. And I'm not being age discriminatory here, but I have 2 books that would be a good way to start your journey. If they're younger, this one, The Chaos Cure. This is my latest book. Yes, Robert does support Benjamin's release. Yes. As a judge, anytime he sees somebody do well and want to do better, he is all for that. So this is the book for the younger crowd. It's also good for older people, but it's written in a way that is short snippets, ways to get organized that you never thought about. Now, if they want to start the Fly Lady way, which we haven't done this in a few days, I probably need to catch up this afternoon. Well, my husband was a judge. He's been retired for 11 years. Thank you very much. He gave up his law license and everything. So, this is the book if you want to establish the habits, then string them into routines and be a part of it. So, it's just according. So, we were at day 14. So, I've got to catch up to day 19. I got 5 days to catch up on. Well, why don't we just jump back in where we are? We're going to skip 14. 14 was check your calendar. 15, add making your bed to your morning routine. That's a good one. 16, we're just going to skim them. Read a morning musing. Yep, read a morning musing. 17, where's 17? There's 17. Establish a bedtime. Yeah, we've been talking about that today. Don't get sucked into one more video. And then 17, 18, yesterday's was check out my 11 commandments. Yep. Check out my 11 commandments. Simple rules to live by. Finally loving yourself. And today's is, drum roll please, day 19. Are you ready for your home to feel like a vacation getaway? You know, when you have a home you don't want to leave, Leanne and I have that right now. She has a house she loves. I have a house I love. It's comforting to me. It's wonderful. So I'm going to put this right up there so I don't forget it. Where? Okay, so we did the meditation and that. Okay. I did the 2 apps. Which book? Can you use a cleaning product with purple rags? Well, you can, but why would you want to? Purple rag. I use Windex on mine. I put mine in a sink full of hot soapy water, so there's dish liquid in there. This thing works great, but I want to wash dishes with soap. I'm going to put some soap in my dishwater. And I'm going to use Windex occasionally, but you can use plain water. I like the smell of Windex. I really do. My children bring home so much school paperwork. How much should I keep? I feel horrible to throw away their work. Oh my. Okay. I want you to get a little box. And you put it somewhere where you're going to empty out their backpacks. And you're going to teach them to do this. You're going to have an inbox for all their paperwork. And then at the end of the week, you're going to let your child sit down at the dining table and pick out their favorite thing that they did that whole week. This is their favorite thing. You're going to put it in a frame, even if it's just a cardboard frame that you're going to put on the bulletin board, and you're going to hang it up. And this is going to be their favorite thing for the whole week. And you're going to take the rest of those papers and you're going to divide them up between their grandmothers or grandfathers or aunts and uncles, whatever. So put the other papers in a manila envelope. Teach them how to address the envelope. Figure out how many stamps you got to put on it and mail it. Mail it to a relative so they can see what the child is doing in school. Now, you start over on Monday, collecting everything for the whole week. And then you pick the child picks their favorite thing. You take the one that's in the frame on the refrigerator or on the bulletin board, wherever it is, you put it in a sheet protector in their own little notebook. So at the end of the year, they will have 36 or 52 pages of their favorite work. And you teach the child to address the envelope and mail everything away. And then you're not really getting rid of it. You might have to one day because Granny couldn't let it go. But for the most part, it's all going to be in a notebook. A little 3-ring binder with sheet protectors in it. There you have it. Next question. Where are we on time? Oh, we're doing well. Look at us. How can I deal with my husband who is a perfectionist? You married him. You knew he was a perfectionist at the time. You have to learn to let what they say roll off of you. And just keep doing what you're doing. If they don't like how you're loading the dishwasher, then say, okay, honey, you load the dishes. I'll hand them to you. This is what Leanne and I did last night. She's rinsing dishes off, handing them to me. I'm putting them in the dishwasher. And she looks at me and she says, you did that just the way I would. And I said, no doubt. Because we're practically the same head. No, it is what it is. Robert looks at the dishwasher and he says, I can't get another thing in it. I said, well, run it. Well, we've got dishes that need to go. I said, run it. We'll put them in the next one. Just let it go. You can't change them. God knows you've tried. And it hasn't worked, has it? It hasn't worked. So let it go. Because all it's doing is playing havoc with you to try to change them. You're not going to change them. Put it in there. It's a brand new dishwasher. Let the dishwasher do it. Okay. This is a big one. Our mornings seem to be so chaotic. Waking up late, picking out clothes, Breakfast and lunches need to be made. I feel so overwhelmed. Any suggestions? You're not doing your before bed routine. You're not. You're not. You're not getting lunch boxes ready. You're not planning for lunches the night before while dinner's cooking. You're not taking care of things when you can take care of things. So let's look at this a different way. Waking up late. That means you're going to bed too late. You're not going to bed at a decent hour. And then you have so much stuff to do. You're rush. And you know what rushing does? Rushing makes you a mean mommy. Rushing makes you hateful. So you have to nip it in the bud by going to bed at a decent hour and getting up 15 minutes before the flow of the family. Don't do this to your children. Don't send them out the door crying because you couldn't go to bed last night. You want to set your children up for success. And doing that, going to bed at a decent hour, getting up before them, if you all have to leave out the door at the same time, then you need to get up before them and get totally dressed so that you are in control, not in chaos. She says she's in chaos. So, before bed, as everybody starts getting ready for bed, you have a certain bedtime. Start it right after dinner. Everybody pick their clothes out before they have any TV time. Pick their clothes out for tomorrow. When you do the laundry, put together whole outfits. I saw the cutest video last night. Yeah, I watched them too. Cutest video on how to fold jeans and shirts together for packing. But guess what? You could make these little pods of the kids' clothes all in one thing, ready to go, sitting on their tomorrow, sitting right on top of their dresser, ready to get dressed. There you have it. You do it when you do the laundry. The whole outfit's together in the dirty clothes. Put it back together. Pick the clothes out. That saves you a step when you do it when the laundry's done. Making breakfast and lunches. Plan for it. Think about, as you're cleaning your kitchen, what you're going to make for breakfast in the morning. Do you know what the kids are going to eat? Are you going to send them out the door with carbs in their belly? Or are you going to put together a nice little quiche that you can take out of the freezer and pop in the oven when you first get up? Think about it. Have food ready to go. Leanne and I are going to do some cooking in the next few weeks, getting ready for our next hot melt sprint, which was absolutely amazing, folks. I've never seen the like of people who have had super success with this stuff. And if you haven't joined our hot melt sprint group, go over to savingdinner.com/sprint and get signed up, because we're going to do this every month for the rest of my lifetime. We're going to stay focused on this hot melt. It brings us back to basics. And that's what you're doing getting ready before bed. You set up your launch pad for tomorrow because you know where the backpacks are. You know that when you put your backpack on the peg by the door, you know that your backpack has the homework in it. You have this little checklist. You know, is my homework in there? All my books? Do I have my clarinet? You know, look at your calendar. Know what tomorrow's going to bring. Do you have an appointment you have to go to? Do the kids have dental appointments after school? Think about it. You may need to take some toothbrushes with you so they can go to the dentist. So getting your before bed routine done and having things on your launch pad, picking out your clothes for tomorrow, and knowing what's for breakfast. Wow. There you have it. You can have some little homemade burritos in the freezer that you can heat up. Look at this. You can have an amazing meal with just a little thinking ahead of time. Just a little thinking ahead of time. And then all you got to do is get up and get dressed to lace up shoes, clean the kitchen up as you go. You can even have lunches pre-made and in the refrigerator, cold, to put in the lunchbox. All you got to do is load up the lunchbox. So you see, you're making it hard on yourself. You're making it hard on you by not doing your before bed routine. It's the most important routine of your whole day. It sets you up for tomorrow. I always have a launch pad going, especially going up to Leanne's. I keep a launch pad ready to go to her house. I take things to her that she's let me borrow. She has one for me. We have launch pads at each other's house. Imagine that. It's just a tote bag, but it gets me ready to go to her house so I don't forget anything. You can't fight with bacon. You can't fight with bacon. It's good. I like bacon. And you can pre-cook bacon and freeze it too. Or you can buy pre-cooked bacon. So there's a way to have breakfast and to feed your kids so they go out the door not starving. And kids need food. They really need food. They are growing. It's not like us adults. We can do without breakfast. In fact, it's better for me if I don't eat breakfast. I don't usually break my fast until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm going to have tea time. And that's not really breaking a fast. It's actually just having something warm and comforting to sidetrack me from eating. Because I'm not hungry until about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And I'm getting it longer and longer. Yes, burritos are full of carbs. Because the tortilla that you wrap a burrito in has 26 grams of carbs. But kids need more carbs than adults do. They really do. But Leanne can talk about that later. But they need a good breakfast. And if your children have a little ADD, you want to give them eggs and bacon for breakfast and not all the carbs. You want to keep them. A boiled egg is easy to take. It's easy to eat. A boiled egg is great. But you don't want to give them so many carbs like a bowl of cereal, sugared cereal, that's going to have them bouncing off the walls for their first 2 periods of school. So there. Well, we've gotten through another 4 pages, front and back. And whoever sent me how to stop that, please send it back to me, because I can't find it anymore on how to get rid of printing on the front and back. But I know it's somewhere, and I got to stop my printer from doing this, because it's making me nuts. And I don't want to be nuts. I don't want to be nuts. But nuts are low carb. So, everybody, we got lots to do today. I've gone for almost an hour. I don't know what that is. I don't know what duplex off. I don't know what that is. So, Leanne will be on here at 1 o'clock. Tomorrow is her question day on Friday. Mine is on Thursday. And all cereal has carbs. Just read the box. And if you're not reading labels, get some glasses that let you read labels. Get some glasses that'll let you read labels. We all have phones. We can blow them up on a picture, on a phone. You have no excuse not to read labels and know how many carbs you're putting in your belly. No excuse. None. So, folks, I'll see you at 3 o'clock. I'll be on with Leanne. Not on, but I'll be moderating. Not really moderating. I just have to put in my 2 cents worth. So, I love you all. FitnessPal has had some security issues, so I wouldn't use FitnessPal. Your information has been hacked. So I would not use FitnessPal at all. So, folks, have a good day. And I'll see you at 1 and 3. Bye. And don't forget about Our Rubber Scrubber BOGO and our FCC pack is ending. The sale is ending on September 30th. And get your calendars. Bye.